Along with making this work very impactful, we have in this 10-year legacy a group of individuals that have passed through the ranks of Advanced Carolina. There are a few names that I could mention. We have senators, we have individuals that are in elected leadership across the state. But more importantly, we have infrastructure leaders at the helm of this organization from a lineage standpoint. It gives me great pleasure to introduce two of those voices from the past that are still making a difference in the present. Ashley Blue is the executive director of America Votes. She can tell you all exactly what that means. And Jasmine Childs is the deputy director at Put NC First. Has a new title now with Put NC First, working on special projects and programs. But before they had these very important titles, when they were just little itty bitty baby organizers, they came through the ranks of this organization, and we thank you. Ashley, we'll let you go first. Feel free to introduce yourself. Jazz, after that, we'll let you go, and then I'll ask my blast from the past question from this Legacy Voices section. Ashley, you can take it away.
Hey friends, Ashley Blue, she, her pronouns. Um, hey, not too deep. I'm just a girly from Fayetteville. So very happy to be here and share space with y'all. Um, Advance means a lot to me and the things that I learned. I'm excited to talk about today. My current role as the North Carolina State Director for America Votes is to help coordinate the statewide activity for our C4 organizations that run independent expenditure activity. That's a lot of big words that basically means we coordinate the door knocks that the party doesn't. And these are community-based groups and communities who are member-based and building relationships every day, like Advanced Carolina. So I'm really happy to be here and talk about the arc of the work.
Yeah, thanks. Well, thank you, Ashley, for passing it on over. But my name is Jasmine Childs. I was at Advance for many years and is much a part of Organize for Advance, helped do a little policy work for Advance, and is much of my personal story. And I wish I could give it there all here today, but I cannot, and I will keep you all from that. But what I will say is that currently, because of my role at Advance, it brought me into a space where I'm doing more hands-on like donor work, working with Black folks and Black people in community and around their giving. Also working with foundations around their giving and taking the aligned principles that I learned at Advance to those spaces so that I can talk to people and can, converse with different folks about how to give to organizing work around the state, but also doing that in a way that we're helping to, consistently resource people. And Marcus and I get to work with the Advanced family all the time, even though I'm still not quite technically on the team. I get to still, see my people, and it's a joy.
No, we really, you never ever leave Advanced Carolina in the work, and I think you all brought very valuable expertise to the organization. And as much as you learned here, I think you all taught us more during your tenure and are still continuing to teach the infrastructure. So thank you both. I do have two quick questions. The first question is, considering your current seat in movement work and political work, what role could you say that Advance played in shaping how you show up and advancing power building, particularly for communities in the rural South, but for Black communities as well? And we can go in reverse. Jazz, we can start with you and then we'll go to Ashley.
Man, yeah. So actually today I convene, it is a network of Black donors called the Black Donor Network that has been a project of love that I've built out in my current role. But one of the reasons that, and I tell the story and as part of my personal story that I even want to do that work or have been, have started to convene that work. It's because of my time here at Advance and understanding this is where I learned where to the importance of harnessing Black power and what it meant to be Black, strategic, and be sitting at a table and being able to make decisions. And that is something that I've wanted to expand in my day-to-day work. And I owe all of that to Advance to start. And I also would say to that question, it informs currently, like in my current role, I sit as a donor. Um, but understanding what it means to be equitable and moving in a sense, you don't always get it right, but we try to get it right as much as I can. But moving with a sense of equity and centering like community needs is important because not all funders, not all people understand that. And Advance has helped me do that.
Perfect. Perfect. What about you, Leader Blue?
Ha! I think my experience with Advance gave me the unique opportunity to have a peek behind the curtain. I started off as an Obama organizer. I was a student organizer in '08 and then transitioned to full-time staff. That was one of my first jobs fresh out of college. And stepping into the political space here in North Carolina as a young Black girl, you learn very quickly that you're not a part of the old boys network. And, I was fortunate enough to watch people like Courtney and like Conan move through political spaces through the party. Um, but that was not a place where I had a ton of friends who I trusted and could build a relationship with. And so Advance became a safe place. Advance became a home base where I not only organized beside people, but I built community with those people. And, Jasmine and I were on staff at the same time, and we still work very closely right now. And the same with Marcus, and how the trajectory of my relationship with Courtney has evolved from me being a college dim and watching him in leadership and kind of coming over into this world. It is a real interesting through line how we have moved through this North Carolina political space. And so I think Aaron did a really wonderful job of summarizing that earlier, where the people who don't necessarily understand this apparatus then come in to know, love, and become a part of moving this work. And that's exactly what I did. I was a regional in Mecklenburg County, and we split the county in two. Me and Aisha Du, who's now one of your state house elected officials. And here we are in 2025, still thugging it out. So Advance was a really important part for me to understand the strategy that happens behind the work.
Thank you very much, Ashley Jazz. You don't look like what you've been through. And I know
Shondo.
exactly. I know from exactly what you've come, and I appreciate you still being with us. There are tons of people that should be in this part of the conversation. We just didn't have time to bring all the voices up. You mentioned Representative Dew. I think about Daniel McKelvey, who is now in corporate America and also doing political strategy behind the scenes. I think about folks like Gerald Taylor, who was a leader in IAF and one of the first executive directors of the organization. There are just so many people that have touched this organization and helped us shape what we talk about when we talk about building independent Black political power. You'll see a photo here of DeAndrea Newsom, who now works for Susan G. Coleman in a political context. And so at every stop throughout our 10-year journey, we have built an organization that is not just building political power, but investing in voices and faces that are not just here for a moment, but that are here for the entire movement.